All right. So that team kind of goes well together name-wise, but I'm just very, very interested in seeing how these teams are going to actually play out and if people are using old bad habits or creating some new ones.
Now, you did mention Wrench, who is a player that's had a lot of success in ones and that hasn't really transferred over to twos. Same thing here for our first match coming in with Wilson and Tiffany to a degree as well. Both Wilson and Tiffany have had a lot of success in singles, but that hasn't been able to transition over into the twos, into the doubles, into the team's play space. But they will be going up against Santy and Simba. Now, Simba has been a nightmare in twos pretty much ever since shortly before BCX. And Santy was a name that a lot of people kind of didn't know for the longest time or didn't kind of associate with players like Wilson, like Tiffany, like your Boomies, like your Sandstorms. But we've seen Santy do some good work in Pro Series recently, and hopefully that'll carry over into twos here today as well.
I mean, Santy and Simba are definitely not shy, man. They're coming out here like they've been here since the start. They're trying to let these people, these old pros know, hey, we're here. You can't sleep on us. If you do, we're going to take you out quick. And from what I'm seeing, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Both of them racking up damage pretty fast. Everybody's kind of across the board. But that axe is scary. But whoa! Excuse me?
Simba is able to pick up the first kill onto Wilson. It was looking like it was going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but at least for right now, both members of the blue team are surviving. Santy even still surviving off of that. That is going to be a kill onto Simba. Santy's going to try to get back over on the wall. You saw Tiffany try to go in, ended up going low, but Wilson was able there to cover the high recovery on that wall as well, able to pick up that kill. Basically even so far. We haven't seen Tiffany fall yet, but she could be knocked out here very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. I like what Tiffany's doing. Tiffany is not going ham right now. She's kind of sitting back, kind of spacing herself, you know, trying to rack up the damage as much as possible. The thing that I always say is important in these matches is white damage is always important. Try to get as much white damage. Don't try to go for those SIGs too fast. Don't put yourself in a bad predicament. And right now, we're not seeing any cross damage happening on teammate to teammate. They're kind of splitting up and just going to 1v1 matches.
Now, if you're Tiffany and Wilson playing into Santy and Simba, that's maybe what I would go for there, because I would say that arguably Wilson and Tiffany are probably the stronger 1v1 players, and they're a roughly new team as well. So maybe just try to stress that 1v1 situation where they can definitely most likely win that out statistically if you go with history. But there's a dash-in neutral signature. Gonna hit Wilson. Both members of the red team onto the side. Tiffany's going to fall. Wilson, is he going to be able to get back? Wilson not traditionally having the strongest edge guards in Brawlhalla. It's something he's kind of strayed away from in terms of his own play style in singles, but he ends up being killed there, and Santy and Simba have a decent lead, almost picking up that nice 3-hit that would have ended in a signature, possibly a kill. There's a nice down signature from Tiffany, turning around onto Santy as well, charging that side signature just a little bit.
Yeah, Santy and Simba are looking really nice right now. I mean, just great spacing. They're taking their time. They're not trying to rush in. You can see Wilson's trying to get these hits in. He's getting a little hesitant, but he does have the axe. The axe can come back and definitely change the course of battle really fast. So,
and that's where axe is held in a little bit different value in twos than it is in ones. You'll see a lot more axe in twos than you will in ones. A lot of recovery frames, a lot of startup frames, and now that Orb is out, a lot of axe players have said Orb is just kind of a better axe, so there's not a lot of reasons to play axe in singles. Nice neutral signature, getting the follow up there. It did bounce Wilson off of the main platform, so that's going to take away a lot of the momentum. It's not going to lead to a kill, but a nice signature. Simba was on the left, turned it around he was on the left, turned it around, sending to the left to that closest blast zone, leading to the kill. Tiffany in the 2v1 situation. Nice down air coming out from Simba.
It's a little scary right now, but Tiffany can pull off something. Just needs to kill one of them, and well, just like that, it just goes away. Man, Santy and Simba taking it easy, not going pretty crazy, sticking to fundamentals, winning the game.
Now that's why the first game of the day is really kind of up for grabs. I think no matter what, the first game of the day, regardless of who is playing, is always up for grabs because, one, it's the first game of the day, so people might not be warm. It's also the first game in a best of 5, so neither team has to really play all of their cards. It's not the last-ditch effort. They don't have to send out all of their tricks or all the best character that they have or the best weapon or the team combos that they want to try to pull off. Like, there is so much time for either team to adapt, react, and adapt to the other one that the first game of the day, even the first game of any set, is really not that important.
Exactly. I mean, no character swap, so it looks just like what you said. A little warm up going on. They're still sitting split 1v1s. The stage is small, so they're not going to be able to, be on each side of the stage too long. But Santy and Simba, again, just taking their time, fundamentally just going at it, not doing anything too crazy.
Well, we are seeing the swap from Wilson over onto the Queen Nai, but it's definitely nothing out of the ordinary. This is just standard Wilson character picks here. Started with the Ragnar, has the Queen Nai. We could see a Caspian. We also could see a Rayman, which would be fantastic. But we're seeing the Queen Nai right here. You saw the down signature come out. These signatures and even the light attacks are going to hit so hard. Queen Nai has so much strength, so much defense. Even though she struggles a little bit with movement speed, that's the trade-off for those other two stats. You're really not going to feel that as much in twos, but he might be feeling that. That D-Light recovery didn't kill. That recovery didn't kill.
Oh, wow.
He's still holding on. That one didn't kill either.
That's crazy. Yeah, Queen Nai, I mean, you really don't need that movement speed right here at all. I mean, if you could just stand middle stage and spam SIGs, you can make some stuff happen. She's so scary, and the approach Queen Nai is even more scary.
Ooh, there's a nice down signature.
Raw.
Did Tiffany? I think Tiffany dodged through
Still
that one.
Still alive. Yeah.
Perfectly placed that spot dodge, so it ended up hitting the member of the other team and not Tiffany. We have an interesting split right here. You have Simba and Wilson both on their first stock, and then you have Santy on his final one. And you have Tiffany on the second stock. So a little bit of an interesting deficit there. I don't know how Simba's survived this long.
I have no idea. It looks like they're trying to focus one. I wonder if that's their strategy right now, trying to focus Santy out of the game and then just double team on Simba. Whatever they're doing, it seems to be working. But they really need to get something going on with Simba. It's like they forgot about that he's in the match. He's just going around, just doing a little damage here and there. As I said, that Wilson is going in.
If they do focus Santy, like you're saying, that puts them into the 2v1 situation if you're the red team onto Simba, and there's not going to be a lot that he can do against a Queen Nai and a Koji. If he wants to knock out Wilson, he's going to have to put out a tremendous amount of damage, which Tiffany, for every point of damage that Simba puts out onto Wilson, Tiffany will have an option to immediately punish. There's the D-Light side air, not quite going to kill. You're seeing Tiffany turn around, move over onto Santy, looking for that focus. There's the D-Light side air. That's going to be the kill. Santy's out. Simba is in the 1v2 situation. Now he has 2 stocks, but it's up against 4. Now he has 1 stock, and it's still up against 4. Even if he picks up the kill on Tiffany, who's in the red right now, he risks punish from Wilson, and even if he doesn't get punished, he still has to worry about 3 more stocks.
Exactly. So, you know, if I'm Simba right now, we won the first game. Right now, I want to try to go in and just try to learn the movement, see how they react, see how they just read movement for now, get ready for next match. But, you know, at least try. Don't, you know, of course you don't want to give up or anything, but definitely try to present yourself to see what the other opponent is going to do, how they react to stuff to prepare for next match.
And this is what I was talking about, that first game of the set, or that first game of the day. Nice. Almost gets the 3-piece right there that probably would have led to the kill. Ooh. There's the down signature. A little bit of team damage there, but they can afford it right now. Wilson's still able to get back. He takes another down air, still able to get back. But that was what I was talking about. Like, the first game was not heavily in blue team's favor, but reasonably in blue team's favor. Like, they were both in yellow on their final stocks. And we see a huge momentum shift the other direction. That's the reaction. That's the adaptation. That's what the best 2v2 teams and singles players as well will have. That's why these top 8 matches are played best of 5.
Absolutely. I agree. I mean, anything can happen. You know, matches can turn around really fast. I've seen people go from like the bottom all the way to the top, reset brackets just that easily. Sometimes you just need a little quick warm up and, you know, get your head in the game.
We are going into our game 3 here. We're tied 1-1 in the set. No character swaps. We're seeing Wilson stick with that Queen Nai that he had. Of course, Tiffany sticking with the Koji, Simba sticking with the Hattori, and Santy is going to be on this Asuri. I feel like we haven't seen too much from Santy so far. Like, we saw a little bit more in the first game, but aside from that, I've been feeling really lukewarm on Santy's performance so far. I haven't necessarily been checking his numbers, so I don't know if he's been putting out damage. I don't know how many kills he's been racking up. I'm definitely going to pay attention to that more this time.
Yeah, it seems like he's doing a little bit more this match than he did last match. I think Wilson just out ranging him completely. And I mean, and also Queen Nai is just very scary to approach with Katars. I mean, let's think about it. Just tons of SIGs. I mean, he's just doing the same combos over and over again, and they're just falling into it like constantly. So I don't know what, change up the approach maybe. Santy can get in there and do some damage. Keep the sword over the Katars.
Wilson is going to have to be careful a little bit. You saw that neutral signature come out after that 3-piece. We've seen 2 team kills so far. Both kills so far in this game have been team kills. little bit of a team combo right there coming out from the blue team onto the red team. It didn't lead to a kill, but it did lead to some solid damage. And when the red team's already behind, they can't really afford that.
Absolutely. It looks like a little bit of frustration is coming in too. You know, typically when you get a little frustrated, maybe getting comboed a little too much, you typically throw out attacks kind of randomly. They were a lot calmer earlier, like when they did their first game. Right now, it's kind of a little insanity going on, but it looks like they're getting it back together. Kind of black hole Wilson. But man, Wilson's just doing some crazy damage.
Wilson's going deep.
Whoa, it's going in, man.
He's
trying to bake somebody down there.
He almost kissed the blast zone with that one. There's a side light coming out from Santy. No follow-up there. Another side light. No real follow-up off of that one.
None. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Wilson is playing on the okay. If you can dominate, go for it. It's playing a little dangerous, but I guess he can afford it right now. Tiffany, all right. Tiffany's out.
It is 4 stocks to 3, but again, Santy is the one taking more of the punishment for the blue team compared to Simba. If you remember before, Simba was the one who had 3 stocks when Santy was almost knocked out of the game. So Santy's really going to have to step it up. I mean, we saw good stuff in 2s from him in Pro Series earlier this week, so maybe he just needs some time to wake up today. He doesn't have that much more time. They are in the loser's bracket. It is tied 1-1 in the set right now, but Santy's going to have to wake up really quickly. That's not the way to do it. He is going to get knocked out there, and a 4 to 3 stock lead is now tied. 3 to 3 is now the other direction. 3 to 2 stocks in favor of the red team, as Wilson's just going to bump his head and fall. Both teams kind of looking just a little bit rickety today.
Yeah, I mean, like he said, this is the first start of the match. We're going in, trying to figure out what's going on. Santy is just being punished right now. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's the way they want to fight right now. Take Santy out, go after Simba later. But it seems to be working. Santy is in the red. So is Tiffany. Right now, I think someone just needs to put his focus on Tiffany. Try to get him out the match. Get her out the match as fast as possible. Wilson is kind of just throwing out random SIGs. If they hit, they kill.
Yeah, that's exactly why he's throwing them out. And he isn't in kill percent yet, so he can afford a little bit of punishment there. He is starting to get closer and closer into the red, and he extended just a little bit too far. Immediately, Simba kept up that pressure. And is this going to be a win for the blue team? Tiffany is going to take a D-Light recovery. Ooh. That's going to be the kill. I do want to praise Tiffany a lot, though. Tiffany was last stock red for quite a bit of the end of that game. She was still able to keep up pressure on the other team, and it took a long time for her to die. Like, obviously, Wilson was the one who died before Tiffany. So a lot of praise for how she did there. Now, if you look at the damage numbers, Santy put out some damage. Santy doing pretty well that game, putting out 611 damage, 2 kills. Compare that to Simba. He was the one dropping the ball this time. Only 1 kill with 441 damage. A little bit of a deficit there. On the other team, you have Wilson putting out a mighty 744 damage. That is big numbers. Bacon. Now, if they didn't have the 3 accidents, one where he bumped his head, one where he killed Tiffany, and then one where Tiffany killed him, that would have been a very different game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the grab cancels into up SIG. I mean, the grab cancels into neutral SIG just kept coming out with Wilson, and it was putting out a lot of damage, and they just kept falling into it. It was like they jumped right into it. I don't know if because Santy was trying to just make up the distance to get there, but it was just constant. So I could see a bunch of damage that Queen Knight put out easily, and Wilson was just dominant on it. But kudos to Santy and Simba pulling that one off.
Now we're seeing no character switch from Wilson, Santy, or Simba. Tiffany is sitting right now without actually locking anything in, probably thinking about what character to play.
Yeah, well, I honestly feel like Tiffany was doing pretty well with the bow. Okay.
Switching over to Hattori. Now, Tiffany did play Koji in, I think, all of the games that were on stream yesterday. I wasn't able to watch it live, so I had to go scrub back through the VOD, and I think it was Koji every game. I could be mistaken on that, at least every game that was on stream. But switching over to the Hattori, we now have 2 Hattoris in this match. And I didn't know that Tiffany's Hattori was level 75. That's a lot of time. That's a lot. That's a tremendous amount of time for all of these players on all of their characters. Level 89 from Wilson, level 78 from Santy, level 87 from Simba, and a level 75 from Tiffany. Tremendous amount of time that these players have put into this game and these characters.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like Hattori is one of those characters you have to play and know on both sides of the fence, whether you're going against an opponent or playing them yourself. Putting a lot of time into that character brings a lot of knowledge to the game. All right, just a little quick trade in the beginning. Oh.
Now, it seems like consistently on the blue team, Santy is the one who always picks up that weapon first. I don't know if he just happens to be the one who spawns that sort of the backside, who's going to be the closer one to the weapon, or if that's something that Simba and Santy have decided. He is the one to pick up the weapon first, and Wilson was the one to pick up the weapon first this game as well. Pretty much reasonably even damage so far, but again, Santy is the one taking more punishment. He has to do a better job of surviving longer, especially in a game with Wilson where he has these hard-hitting signatures where you are likely to die in orange or the beginning stages of red, or right there. He's able to safely put that right over the edge, reminiscent of the way he puts Ragnir down signature on Qatar's right over the edge.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Santy needs to stick to that sword at the moment. It'll create a little bit of difference from those random SIGs being thrown out. I mean, Wilson just knows what to do. He just keeps dominating on just throwing those SIGs out. Okay, Santy answers back with the dare.
Again, Simba still is on his first stock. Now, Simba is using that candy cane skin, which is probably like the most devious and sinister looking weapon in this entire game. Like, it's so sharp. It almost makes me uncomfortable. Like, when he throws out that spear neutralite, like, it makes my skin crawl.
I was just thinking that. I don't want to eat candy canes no more. Those things that damages the mouth.
Now, both teams trading back and forth right now.
Yeah. All right, both characters going in. Wow, Wilson just comes out and straight up just takes him off the map. Simba hanging in there as much as he can. Santy's got to get back and really, really tries to contribute. There it is. Puts him off to the side. This is the time. This is time to get Wilson on a double team.
Now, it has been evened up so far. Simba is almost in kill percent right now. Wilson's towards the latter stages of orange. Might take a little bit more to kill him right now. Follow-ups coming from the red team, off of the red team by the blue team. There's the down signature almost hitting Santy.
Oh, goodness. Someone's got to get in there and help Santy immediately. Okay. All right. Even across the board. If I'm Santy and Simba right now, I'm kind of want to slow down, get ourselves on one side of the map. Make sure we're not split too much. Seems like they work really well together. Wilson and Tiffany seem to trying to kind of create some distance. What I want to do is keep Tiffany near Wilson. Before you throw out these random SIGs, maybe he has a chance to hit Tiffany with it as well. Oh,
ooh, and a neutral signature. That puts that you have to commit to that one a lot. That's arguably one of the worst signatures from Queen Nai in terms of startup, recovery time, the amount of time you're actually hovered there in the air for the other team to punish. But Wilson's able to use it really well. That recovery coming out from Simba is going to turn this into a 1v1. Simba against Wilson. Arguably, historically wise, like, Wilson is one of the strongest 1v1 players in the game right now, coming off of amazing placements at final round. That recovery almost killing off the top. That Queen Nai defense holding on. He's able to swipe the weapon right out from underneath Simba.
I understand what Simba's trying to do, trying to starve Wilson so you don't get the weapon so he can just throw out those random SIGs. But man, he's got to stop throwing away his weapon. Right now it's a dangerous situation. Wilson's probably going to camp that weapon right now.
Now you're seeing the neutral air come through. Both players in kill percent at this point. You're seeing Wilson try to reach over the edge with that down signature. Simba's just not finding the kill moves that he needs. He might have been able to go for a recovery there off of the hit stun from the weapon toss. Wilson able to dodge away enough from that. The weapon toss sending so far, able to dodge through, almost gets the side air. Simba knocked on the edge. That has to be the kill right there. And it's going to be the follow-up with the weapon toss from Wilson, clutching that 1v1.
Out of control.
Coming out. And big damage from Wilson. It was 620 compared to the 387 from Tiffany. So Tiffany's going to have to step it up a little bit. I didn't happen to catch the other ones, the damage numbers from the blue team before they moved through into the stage striking process. But we are going into game 5. I love seeing game 5 in the first set of the day. That's fantastic.
Absolutely. This is when you bring out everything that you have. Anything that you had in reserve, bring it out. Bring some yams. Do whatever you got to do and get the job done. I really, really hope, Santy Kind of steps it up a little more to help Simba out on the back end. Wilson is doing phenomenal. Tiffany as well.
And it has been a back and forth, truly. It's been a blue team victory, a red team victory, a blue team victory, and then we just saw the red team victory coming into this game 5. And keep in mind, again, this is the loser's bracket. So whoever wins this game will be moving on the lower side, while the loser of this will be done for the day. Their sunny side air feast with the eggs and the picnic will be over, and they might have to go home a little bit hungry.
Man, neither team wants that. Right now, Tiffany is doing such a good job just keeping people off the edge. Wilson sitting back, just sigging left and right and making connections. Nice. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we're seeing big disparities in damage coming out. Only about 45 seconds into this match, you've already seen Santy fall, and Simba is in kill percent. Meanwhile, Wilson and Tiffany both barely in orange at this point. There's the ground pound, bouncing Simba off the wall. It looks like this could be the confirmed edge guard.
Oh,
nice. Simba went deep. He expected Wilson to be the one to edge guard,
right?
Rather than just throwing the weapon, and that's Wilson,
that ground pound,
big brain, very smart player, safely throwing out that weapon for the kill.
Absolutely. Good thing I see about Wilson, he's mixing it up. He's not doing the same thing, or he'll get you in a pattern where you think he's going to do something again, and he just goes out and does a nice mix up and just takes the kill. Right now, just a lot of back and forth. Oh, nice follow up, recovery kill. And we have a game.
Some more signatures coming out from both members on the red team. That was a double recovery coming out from Simba. There's another one, recovery into the nair, into the side signature off of the platform onto Tiffany. Tiffany taking some serious damage right there. Blue team looking great with a clapback right now. Almost even up the damage. If anything, they're ahead in damage right now and stocks. What is this rally from the blue team?
Simba's Simba's coming in. This is not your pride, lad. Just taking them out. Man. You know you got a movie coming up, Simba, but God, don't calm down, baby. Whoa! Bringing out the punches.
Simba's mad that they didn't cast him for the live action. Like, he's mad.
He's ready. Oh, my goodness. Both teams are just going in right now. There is no holds bars. They don't care who's going to get hit. Somebody's going to go home. Oh, goodness. Can Simba make it back?
He's going to have the dodging time. He's going to be able to get back. You're going to see Wilson with the standard edge guard, throwing out that neutral light right over the corner. Simba's able to get through him. Back and forth follow-ups. Tiffany following up off of Simba because Santy and Wilson were both
Come back, Simba. He's back. You know, if I'm Simba right now, I'm trying to hold on to that stock like dear life right now, man.
He needs to hold on to the stock better than Mufasa held on to that edge while Scar was standing there.
Wow.
This is massive for the blue team. This is absolutely massive. There is arguably no way that they could lose this, right?
Dude. No. There's no. Well, I mean, if they keep it up, somebody wants that kill. What a show put on by Santy and Simba, man. And let's not discount Wilson and Tiffany putting the pressure on, but at the end, it's his movie.